deep breaths. I need deep breaths for this one. Because this is next level, okay? You can talk about Colin Cowherd all you want. Skip Bayless, all of them. But this one's going to be tough to get through without resorting to violence. I mean, this is Nick Wright and the gang at, what's this show even called? First Things First. Not that they would ever try to be a knockoff of First Take. First Things First. Very original. This is them giving their predictions for the AFC South. I'm sure this is going to leave everyone in a great mood.
Welcome to day 4 of Predictions Week. Right now,
they've apparently been going division by division. I still don't know why this dude on the right is even analyzing the NFL. I don't even remember his name. I don't even know why.
Other divisions, friendly reminder, will be staked. Yeah, well, it was AFC.
I get it.
Yeah. Staked to these predictions for the entire year, maybe longer. Let's see where we stand right now. Nick still has a Southern Champ that we're going to reveal and a wild card.
Yep.
And Brew, you just have your wild cards are all done. So Nick, take it away. AFC.
All right, AFC South. I think, maybe I'm wrong, that we will all agree on the 4th place team. In 4th place, I have the Tennessee Titans. I don't love Will Levis. I really like all the other quarterbacks in this division. I hate that they fired Vrabel. To me, they're an easy 4th place. Sorry, good folks in Nashville. Now to
everybody's entitled to their own opinions, okay? Literally, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Even if they're not the same as mine, everybody's entitled. That's fine. The smug, oh God, I'm a Christian. I have to remember, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Lord help me. Lord help me. Let me be kind. Lord, please, literally, please help me. The smug arrogance. I think we can all agree. I mean, come on. It's not even worth. He said he's not crazy about Will Levis. Whatever. You're crazy about Anthony Richardson? Would love to know why. He's probably about to tell us, and it's probably based on hopes and dreams. Whatever. The fact that a team can literally revamp the whole roster in one offseason. I've said this a million times. I'm not expecting anybody to predict the Titans to go to the Super Bowl or to even win the division. I'm not even expecting you to predict them to go to the playoffs, all right? You might not even have them getting above 500. But I've watched clips before where people say, hey, I think the Titans, it's going to take time. Levis is a question mark. Offensive line is a lot of young guys we don't know a whole lot about. It's a first-time head coach. But to just be like, oh, they're going to be bad. How do you know? I don't like that they fired Vrabel. That right there alone is enough to... I've just talked about it so many times. I can't get into it again. I can't get into this whole Vrabel thing again. And everybody else has moved on and gets why the Titans did what they did, except this dude looking like Jim Caviezel in Passion of the Christ. Except for this dude looking like, Keith Urban on crack. I'm a Christian. I just need to hit
number 3, and this was one of my hardest postseason admissions. The Indianapolis Colts. I love the head coach. I think he made Jalen Hurts look like a superstar for the season with him. I think you were a pass away from making the playoffs with Wilds guy Gardner Minshew. Yeah. I'm very intrigued by Anthony Richardson. I love the upside and the measurables.
Based on what? The upside. What upside? Do you have some film from Florida that you want to show us? Because you ain't got much from Indianapolis. Chant it with me, everybody. Hopes and dreams. hopes and dreams, hopes and dreams. If you want, look at his face. I'm a Christian. I got to calm down. I got to honor the Lord. If you want dreams to come true and fairy tales to become reality, go to Orlando and visit the dang castle with Mickey Mouse. But all of this just like, oh, I love Anthony Richardson. What do you love about him? What's he done that you like? What's he done? You like his 40 time at the Combine a couple years ago? What do you like? Do you like a pass that he threw against the Vanderbilt Commodores his senior year at Florida? What have you seen? What have you seen from this guy that makes you go like, man, I like him? I tell you what, that one game he played a whole quarter without having to come out. That one time he threw a stick route without dislocating his shoulder. And I'm not making light of injuries, but he got hurt. He barely played. And we're just, I'm sick of this. I am sick of this. Do you have to come on here and say, I think Anthony Richardson's going to be bad? No, but you just told me you don't like Will Levis with no reasoning. You didn't go into why. You didn't explain why you don't like Will Levis, even though Will Levis was down by 2 touchdowns with less than 3 minutes to go on a Monday night in Miami and came back and won. Do you think Anthony Richardson could do it? Probably not. Do you think Will Levis threw 4 nice touchdowns in his debut against Atlanta? I don't even think Anthony Richardson played 4 snaps in a game. I can't take you seriously for a lot of reasons, but...
And I think they have an excellent offensive line and defensive line.
Sure.
But I question their secondary.
Same.
I don't love the wide receivers.
Same.
And their back seven of their defense as a whole. And Anthony Richardson, he played 4 games, got hurt in 2 of them. So I can't put him in the postseason.
But you love him. I love Anthony Richardson. Based on what? Let's watch his film. You don't have to clear your schedule or anything. It'll only take about 2 minutes, and then we can carry on.
AFC South is tougher than people thought. So I have them third. Bruce, surprised by that.
I thought you were having them in the playoffs.
Like I said, it's my hardest omission.
But because we loved the Colts. Every year, we swore Carson Wentz would have this team ready to go. We swore Matt Ryan would have this team ready to go. We swore, who was it? Was it Foles that they had at one time? Who was the other guy? It was Wentz. Everybody after Luck. It was Rivers. Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was going to have them ready to go. And then Wentz. And then Ryan. They've been waiting for years. Every year. Oh, the Colts. Whew, they're going to be good.
At number 2,
Of course.
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Of course.
8-3.
He's always loved Trevor Lawrence, probably because he's trying to do his hair like him.
Yeah, Greg's surprised. He thought I'd have him winning it. No. I'm trying to be right, guys. I'm putting real hard-earned shekels
Looking like
on
a
this
lot
stuff.
of chalk to me.
Well, you know what? I'm able to go a little chalk in this division because I took my big swings earlier, Drew. 8-3 until Trevor's injury. Wild's anti-guy, Doug Peterson, coaching for his job. Doug Peterson has won double-digit games in how many games in his career? Anybody? 1, the time they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is season number 2. They get to 10 wins, just avoid the rain. I was scouring the Farmer's Almanac to see what it's like in their outdoor games. Those games in England, a little tough, but that is England.
God, I'm about to doze off. The show sucks. I don't think people give enough credit to the collapse that happened in Jacksonville. Like I don't think they were 8-3 and then Trevor got hurt and then no, that does not dismiss what happened. You can't just say oh, Trevor got hurt and that fixes everything. No, they collapsed. They were 8-3 and they finished 9-8. Their only win the rest of the year came against the Carolina Panthers, the worst team in the league. Okay? I have said it time and time again, and I will continue. All they had to do was go to Nashville and beat what was left of the Titans. I don't even know who was out there that last week. A bunch of dudes that were just brought in to field a team, and they couldn't beat them. And Trevor Lawrence was awful in that game. And we're just disregarding it because Trevor got hurt. We can, it's like the meme of that dude like taking he's cooking the thing on the stove and it's like about to catch on fire and he like opens the lid real quick and throws something in. That's what Trevor got hurt. Fixes everything. 8-3, finished 9-8, total collapse. Trevor got hurt. They fix it all. They got rid of Calvin Ridley. It was all his fault. Like that's the coverage of the Jags.
I am interested. While I'm not a big Gabe Davis guy, I do like Brian Thomas theoretically, and so we'll see what that's like. And then at number,
what does that even mean? I'm not a Gabe Davis guy, but I like Brian Thomas theoretically. In other words, I just want to pick the Jags to make the playoffs because I have a crush on Trevor Lawrence. In other words, I just want to pick the Jags because outside of Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence gives me reason for living. And I want my hair to look like his. Tresemme, ooh la la. So, even though I don't like Gabe Davis, and I just said it, and I theoretically like Brian Thomas. If I'm Brian Thomas, I would be like, excuse me, what do you mean you theoretically like me?
Number one is the Texans. There is just so much to like about this team. It does seem like their only weakness is going to be running the ball and stopping the run. I'm not a big Joe Mixon guy at this point in his career, and I think their pass defense and pass offense is going to be outstanding, and their coaching is going to be outstanding. I do think that when it comes to physical running teams or them wanting to be a physical running team, they could struggle a bit, but that's, kind of minor around the edges. That Greg Jennings is my AFC South with 2 playoff representatives.
That's Greg Jennings?
I gotta say, I am shocked.
Why?
You know why? I thought you had the Prince taking his crown back.
Team sport. It's team sport.
I'm impressed.
Prince of what? Prince of what? I have never seen anything like the way that these people will glamorize dudes who haven't even done anything. Oh, he's the prince. The prince of what? They've never done better than, 9-8?
Only do so.
I gotta say, I'm impressed because you recognize greatness in Texas.
Wow, greatness is.
But this is the order.
Wow, this is the order.
With the exception.
Oh, good twist.
With the exception of number 2, I got the Colts.
Wow.
Absolutely, the Jags. I'm sorry, Nick. His crown has slipped off.
Well, he's mid.
Yeah,
he's not mid. He's not mid.
He's ranked 16th.
He's mid. But judging by what we've seen so far, depends on what your definition of mid is. I mean, middle of the pack, that's about where he is. I saw somebody yesterday said you can't think of 10 quarterbacks better than Trevor Lawrence. I bet I can think of 15.
In the tiers. That's exactly mid.
Yeah. Brew, let's see where you get.
Do you have the Colts making the playoffs?
I actually do have the Colts making the playoffs.
I gotta be honest, Nick.
Hopes and dreams. Chant it with me, guys. Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. When you wish upon a star.
And I was wrong, I'll give you credit. I thought you were going to actually leave the Texans out.
Oh.
Because I knew you loved Richardson.
Yeah.
I thought you'd have the Colts in there and obviously the Prince.
Remember when this guy said that Taylor Lewan, he said the Bills lost to the Titans on Monday Night Football because Taylor Lewan got hurt because he thought Taylor Lewan played for the Bills even though he played for the Titans. That's the kind of people you're getting analysis from right here.
Don't pick to make the play.
Even if the Colts make it, it's not because I think the Texans are going to fall out. If the Colts make it, I think that they take the Chargers. It was the Colts Chargers were the 2 teams that were fighting for the last playoff spot in my head.
Well, look, we were thinking similar. Tennessee number 4. I will give the Titans credit they're going to be bad. I think they're all in.
Yeah.
They really are all in. Look, they're trying to see if Will Levis is their guy. So they go out and get Tony Pollard. They go out and get Calvin Ridley. They go out and get Tyler Boyd. Like they really had an off season. But those are seriously though.
Somebody's got to be a weird
Boyd is a good
team.
receiver, and Ridley's a good receiver, and Pollard's a good run. Like they had an off season. Like they're trying to win. I obviously don't think they will too much. But look, if they find out if Will Levis is or is not our quarterback of the future, that's good. I got the Colts at 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Jim Caviezel from Passion of the Christ was saying under his breath over there. I don't even know, and I'm not rewinding it to see. because I want to preserve my happiness. At least this guy actually had something to say. He is talking about the Titans like they're a freaking charity case. Like, well, they're trying to win. They're all in, and they're trying to see what they got with Will Levis. We don't need your charity, bud. You host First Things First, okay? The only time I've ever watched this show is right now, okay? And, when you talk about the Titans and you say, well, they want to figure out what they got with Will Levis, and everybody scoffs and laughs. It's like, what's wrong with that? If the Titans go 6-11, 7-10, they miss the playoffs, but they can go into next year knowing that Will Levis is going to be their quarterback, then that's a great thing from this season. I cannot believe that there are people who are still sitting here like, why are the Titans doing this? Don't they know Anthony Richardson's in Indianapolis? Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. When you wish upon a star. Don't they know Anthony Richardson? Oh my God, Trevor Lawrence. He's like the top 20 in the league out of 32. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is in Jacksonville. Don't they know how fun it is to talk about Trevor Lawrence? Like, it's almost like insulting to them that the Titans are even trying. It's insulting to them. It's like, oh, man, no, we don't care about the Titans. They got rid of Vrabel, and he's a former Patriot, and we enjoy talking about him, but now that he's gone, like, they should be irrelevant. Why are they trying to get in our business? Should I watch the rest of this? Let's see what he says about these.
Yeah, Richardson, like you said, my biggest thing, he couldn't finish. He had trouble finishing games last year. And Gardner Minshew.
I'm sick of people acting like, if he could stay healthy, they'll be great. How do you know that? We don't even know what he's like if he stays healthy. Staying healthy is just part one of the equation. Part two is playing well. And we don't even know if he can do that. Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. Comment it below. Hopes and dreams.
Like I said, made the Pro Bowl last year for them. You got to.
Who cares about the Are you kidding me? The Pro Bowl? Who could possibly care about the Pro Bowl? Who was the third string guy for the Ravens that went to the Pro Bowl the other year? The quarterback? I mean,
great offensive line. Jonathan Taylor. If Richardson's healthy, he can run. So that's there. But I was
great. So there you go. If Richardson's healthy, he can run. Wow. Woo! Franchise quarterback in Indiana. If he's healthy, he can run.
He got them third. Jacksonville second, but not making the playoffs. Not making the playoffs. And look, this is a huge year for the Prince. A huge year because
I told myself if they called him the Prince one more time, I was turning it off. I told myself if they called him the Prince one more time, I was turning it off. I'll try to stick it out.
Look, they went out and got him. I like Gabe Davis. You know that. They already had Christian Kirk, who's pretty good, right? And Brian Thomas Jr., we both like this guy I think could be a really good receiver, the rookie out of LSU.
Theoretically.
And Travis Etienne's a solid running back. So he's got weapons. It's time
Travis
for him to get it
Etienne.
done. And then, of course, Houston, the only team from this division making the playoffs. I don't see what there is not to like about the Texans.
Man, you guys really, you're shocking me with the Colts. I mean, I like their offense. I like their offense simply because of, not just because of Anthony Richardson, but Josh Downs had a productive year last year.
They just talk about him like it's a known fact. They act like they're talking about like Joe Burrow or something. They're just like, well, not just because of Anthony Richardson. What about Anthony Richardson? Like I said earlier, what do you like about him? What does he bring to the table that you like?
Year as a rookie, I think he'll add more to their offense. And Michael Pittman Jr., you got the big size guy. I thought you were Anthony Richardson.
I am an Anthony Richardson guy, but I just think it's the kind of burden of expectations. Colts and Jags both had 9 wins last year. Colts, it was considered a great year. Jags, it was a disaster. They both had debilitating injuries to their quarterback.
Debilitating?
Wait.
Well, I don't know.
Debilitating? Trevor Lawrence was out like a week. That is not debilitating. Say what you will about Anthony Richardson. He had a major injury. Trevor Lawrence, it required him to be sidelined for 1 week. That is not a debilitating injury.
They thought they might have to take the leg.
Oh, that's
true. We discussed it.
Yeah, it was bad.
Can I just ask the group one quick question for Trevor? What would be better for your guys' perception of Trevor Lawrence? They go 11-6.
I don't care. I literally, they're going to sit here and talk about, like...
I just want to see it like, wow, he can really air it out. If he loses...
Or when it's
Show some star power.
The rain has been a problem. I'm just...
They got young corners, so I think they could get hurt there. But
I mean, they're just rambling at this point. Okay, all I can do is say what I said last week. If the Titans are good, I'm gonna come on here and I'm going to absolutely, like, there are gonna be people trying to shut my channel down. I swear to you, I will come back here. I will revisit every single clip. If the Titans are good, if the Titans finish better than even one of these teams, I am coming back here and I am going to make them regret the day that they ever came on television and started running that mouth. I guarantee you that. Tighten up, everybody.